Venom at a rave.
What you watching?
Hey guys, so I just saw Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage, and it was. So, Venom Let There Be Carnage, it's a sequel to Venom, and it basically picks up where the last movie left off. Eddie and Venom are still doing their thing, and just like the end credit scene promised us, we do get Cletus Cassidy, this time played by Woody Harrelson. I mean, I guess last time played by Woody Harrelson as well. Overall, the movie is something that you're gonna have fun with when you're watching it. Granted, if you are a fan of this Venom universe, me personally, I'm not the biggest fan of it because at the end of the day, if you read a Venom comic or even seen the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, and when you see Venom and you see what he embodies and what he looks like, and you even played the games or even seen the trailer for the new Venom that's gonna be in this Spider-Man 2, I think. Regardless if you've seen like Venom in any iteration, you kind of, when you see him, you know what to expect. Like, you expect more monster than like anything else. Like, you expect Venom to be something that's not this, you know? And for what they're doing with it, Tom Hardy, he plays a great Venom and a great Eddie Brock, and I like their dynamic. It's funny, it's good, it's cool, but at the end of the day, it's kind of just not what I expected, and I kind of expect more every time, especially with this movie, because with this movie, you go into it expecting like, oh, we're gonna see the fight and all this other stuff, and granted, we do get a fight, and the fight is awesome. Unlike the last one, you can actually see the difference between Venom and Carnage, and I really like this movie. Granted, again, I'm not the biggest fan of this Venom character, but for this movie and for what they're doing with this character, I like it. If they're gonna make a movie with the potential of Tom Holland's Spider-Man, I can definitely see them in that movie. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. So, speaking of spoiler alerts, I'm just going to get right to it because there's some things I didn't like about the movie, and the things I didn't like are kind of like, straight off the bat, Venom at a rave. It's not what you expected to see from a Venom movie, especially like with him wearing glow sticks. Because I remember when I seen that trailer for Venom when he was at the rave, like it was a trailer that showed him at the rave. Like, I remember I seen that trailer maybe like 2 days before I seen the movie. And I seen that trailer and I was just like, no, 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 no. Like, I was really like shaking my head like, oh, I can tell I'm not gonna like this. I still don't like that part because it's just fucking like Venom talking and people, just random people, just yeah, yeah, yeah. Like it's just kind of like, to me, it's kind of whatever. And I think back, we got that scene instead of what we could have got, like something in the comics where you see Venom basically feeding off of Eddie and making him depressed, and like what I would imagine to be like the perfect Venom movie, like if I can combine elements of two different movies, would be Spider-Man 3, taking that symbiote from Spider-Man 3 and how it affected your body and mentality, and taking that brutality and uncontrollable body movements from the movie Upgrade, and putting those two together and making like the perfect Venom movie. Because let's face it, we all want to see a R-rated Venom movie, because I want to see him bite someone's head off and actually have blood dripping down his face, or have blood squirting from the guy's head hole or whatever, because it's like seeing Venom basically eat chickens and shit. It's kind of like basically trying to make a lion your pet or something at this point. And I get it, granted, Venom can't be out in the open, but I feel like, like the studio is kind of scared, like I feel like in this movie there was a representation of Venom, and Venom was the representation of like the Marvel Studios trying to be as accurate to the comic as possible, trying to translate that to film. And with Venom trying to eat bad guys, Venom suggesting they be called the Lethal Protector. The point is, like, you just see certain things when you see Venom and you're just like, geez, if he was like a beast, it would be something, he'd be something to fear. Because at the end of the day, when you watch this movie, me personally, like, the thing that I took away from it was two different things. The first thing is, after me watching this movie, I'm really curious on what is so important, like what makes Venom better? What makes Venom better than Riot or Carnage? Like, is it just the host? Like, is it that who gives you like what exactly, because as far as I'm aware, I think in both Venom 1 and Venom 2, Venom kills his opponent using a weapon that his opponent created from their own symbiote skin. Like in the first one, Riot stabbed Eddie with a sword Thanos thing, and Venom came back to life and he stabbed the Rocket. And this one, I think Carnage like hit him with a spear or some shit like that. But like it's just kind of like it's kind of weird because you looking at Venom and what can he do? You just see him jumping on the buildings and stuff like that. And yeah, he's big and imposing, but you seen Carnage when he made axes and darts and bullets, all the sharp projectile weapons that he threw. So you're like, damn, like these guys are cool. And what makes Venom so like what makes him like it can't just be the host. People whose Venom is compatible with, I guess, Mrs. Chan at this point, and Anne, who, spoiler alert, the internet has been heard when it comes to she Venom. Like you see a big chunk of her. But I really like the scene where Eddie Brock is basically apologizing to Venom, and at the same time he's apologizing to Anne because Venom is basically possessing Anne. I mean, Eddie Brock's kind of just stumbling over his words and apologizing, and just like, oh yeah, tell me more, and I enjoyed that scene, so it was pretty funny. So overall, like the movie was good, and like I liked it. I just feel like this movie could have been so much better, but hey, what do I know? But anyway, Eddie Brock kills Carnage and Cletus Cassidy gets his head bit off. It was the best F-bomb used since Wolverine in First Class, I believe. Marvel, I'm seeing you. You guys are sneaky. Like, you guys may not use those F-bombs, but trust me, when you do, you make it count. Yeah, so let's talk about the end credit scene. So, in the end credit scene, Eddie Brock is on the run because he has been a part of everything that happened up until this point that led to something bad happening in the city. The Life Foundation rocket exploding, the Cletus Cassidy murder spree, the Cletus Cassidy prison break, the church scene, and now Cletus Cassidy's dead. So yeah, the police are looking for Eddie. So Eddie and Venom are watching this telenovela in this shitty ass hotel. Venom basically says something along the lines of, yo, Eddie, I got like 80 million light years of knowledge in my brain, but I can't tell you nothing because you are too dumb. But Eddie Brock, on the other hand, is like, yo, man, you got to show me something. Like, yo, what's up? And then Venom's like, all right, fine. And at that same moment, the entire room starts glitching like Spider-Verse, and obviously you're going to put two and two together, and you're thinking like, oh, shit, this must be some Doctor Strange shit going on. And yes, I think, but it's not confirmed yet. But basically what happens is the room starts switching and glitching out, but very subtly though, and it's pretty cool how it happens. And the whole time Eddie and Venom are like freaking out for a second. They're just like, what the fuck was that? What was that? And then on the news there's Spider-Man. J. Jonah Jameson's basically reporting on Spider-Man, and you see the same scene from Spider-Man No Way Home, Homecoming. And Venom just turns into Venom. He licks the TV and says, that guy. My thoughts on the whole thing is, yeah, Venom's in the MCU, but how long is he gonna be in the MCU? Because at the end of the day, it's just him. Like, and how did he get there? Was it Spider-Man magic or Doctor Strange magic? Does it have something to do with Spider-Man No Way Home? I mean, maybe. Putting two and two together, Sony does own Spider-Man and Sony does own Venom. So maybe what they're doing is they're gonna have Venom take Spider-Man back to his universe, and then Spider-Man truly will have No Way Home. And maybe like during No Way Home, maybe Venom probably somehow teams up with Spider-Man to take down some of the Sinister Six, and then he tricks him, and then he takes him back to his universe or something like that, and boom, that's it. At the end of the day, Sony does own Spider-Man, and it sucks. And they are under a contract that has been flip-floppy at this point, so I mean, you can't really be surprised if they take him back. So, hey, I guess at the end of the day, we just have to see. And that's my thoughts, really. So, Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. Have you seen it? If you did, you should see it again. If you haven't, go ahead and see it. Why not? And, yeah, I'm Gerald, and I just saw Venom Let There Be Carnage, and it was good.